In all my years of riding Griffin and watching Griffin, today was the first day I saw it get stuck with a full load of people. Today, August 16th, is National Roller Coaster Day, and we're going to talk about the Griffin, one of the world's tallest dive coasters, where you free fall over 200 feet. But what happens if you don't fall? If you're not familiar with the Griffin, it's a dive coaster, which means that one or more of its drops are at least 90 degrees and are designed to ensure that all passengers have a free-falling experience. Now here's the fun facts. It opened in 2007, reaches 205 feet in the air, and a top speed of 71 miles per hour. It's iconic for dangling people in the air before suddenly letting them fall straight down. I gotta tell you, I love that drop. So let's talk about how I got here. On Friday, I was walking into La Belle Maison to do some filming and get some footage. And when I was in there, one of the employees mentioned, "Hey, did you know the Griffin was stuck?" So I decided to go out and take a look. And sure enough, right there, 340 feet away from me, they were stuck, 200 feet in the air. Now, while they were stranded for over 2 hours, I decided to stay with them on the ground. We're going to take a look at the recovery process, which includes how they got down. We're even going to look at how they coped, how they spent some of their time, and some of the amazing moments that we witnessed together. The spotlight of this show needs to go on everyone involved in the rescue operation. These folks were not only absolute heroes, they were total rock stars. They projected attitudes of cool, calm, collective engagement with everyone around them. I saw nothing but smiling faces, all the people involved up there, while these guys were taking care of the job, installing fencing, making sure that everyone were strapped into their safety harnesses, and just carrying out the job in a way that was honestly inspiring. Really appreciate these folks. It was a really hot day that day, and the employees did a great job of handing out water bottles to make sure to keep everybody hydrated. The sun also had a pretty high UV, and it was coming down hard. They were able to get umbrellas up there, which was pretty helpful, I'm sure. I gotta tell you, I actually ran out of water on the ground, and I'm sure that everybody up there was far more hydrated and more comfortable than I was, which is awesome. The only way to pass time in a situation like this is to get to know your neighbor and chit chat and have good conversations. I saw folks that would be pointing around and I guess discussing all the things they could see in the distance. A couple of different times I saw employees and passengers playing games such as rock, paper, scissors, as we can see here in the far left corner. There was also a lot of engagement from the ground up to the folks that are stuck, as well as the employees, a lot of waving. And in some manner, I was just hoping to engage them and let them know that you guys are stuck, but there's also some folks down here that we're going to stick it out with you. And the waving was, I think, as enlightening and encouraging for us on the ground as we hope it was for everybody up there. After what I'm sure felt like an eternity, it was time for the front row to finally get out of that seat, stretch the legs a little bit. And I could tell you, everybody was happy to get up and walk away. And the waving, it kept coming. I love that about these people. Keep in mind, the entire time, the other rows behind these folks were being rescued and evacuated the whole time. It just took a long time to get to that point, and we're going to talk about that in the next few minutes. I know that folks could see me, but there were definitely a few times when I know for a fact they were pointing right at me, which was kind of cool, and I'm also a little curious to know what they were talking about. I actually wanted to meet everybody after the situation, but I was running late and I walked over there and noticed that the park kind of had roped things off And I'm sure that they wanted to talk to everybody to make amends and make sure everybody's doing okay. Just being able to walk around and stretch would be delightful. Here's a pro tip. I like this guy's style. If you're ever in a situation like this, don't hesitate to make a memory of it. So let's talk about the actual recovery operation. You have to walk across this catwalk from the car of the roller coaster over to the left side there where there's a rescue car. Now, if you're not a fan of heights, you're going to get extra value from this thrill ride by walking across that catwalk. Just hold on. Now, I heard that the rescue car can take up to 10 passengers and 2 operators, though I only saw it operating with 5 passengers and an operator at once. Now, in addition to the low capacity, what really hurts it is the speed. Now, here's why it's a problem. Take a look at that track. From the top of the peak all the way down into the car loading zone. That's several hundred feet of track. And this thing moves slowly. Here it is moving in real time, and it moves so slowly that the first few times it went up and down while I was filming, I didn't notice it. It wasn't until I started panning over that I realized there's a cart moving up and down. And it has to make multiple trips, at least 2 trips per row, and there's 3 rows of cars. Here's some of our front row friends that are walking to get into the rescue car. As you can see, all they have to do is walk across that catwalk and get in. Pretty easy, but if you're not fond of heights, it's probably going to freak you out. Hey, buddy. And closing us out here is a close-up shot of the rescue car with some of the front row people getting settled in. I know for a fact that they are glad to be there and can't wait to get back down. If you're curious to know just how much waving went on between all of us, this next section's for you. More than 5.5 minutes of camaraderie and neighborly friendship. Hey everyone, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. It helps the channel out in so many different ways, and it'll bring you more content that you'll enjoy.
Mm-hmm.